The back half of our doubleheader on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. on the first weekend of June brings us to the Stu Peppard Arena in Calgary. It is the midway point of the RMLL Junior A regular season already, while one team is looking to gain some ground on the top half of the four-team standings. The other one looking for a victory. Welcome inside. My name is Dave Dawson on HNLive.ca. Appreciate you hanging out with us today. The Raiders Lacrosse Club picked up a victory on the earlier portion of our doubleheader over the Edmonton Miners, and now the Calgary Mounties hoping for their fourth victory against the Saskatchewan SWAT in their fourth meeting of the year. The SWAT 0-7. The Mounties are 3-2-1 on the year. Calgary scored 55 goals and allowed 49, while Saskatchewan scored 37 and allowed 80. Last game, Calgary Mounties played on Wednesday. They lost 17-8 to the Raiders Lacrosse Club. The Raiders scored first and scored 4 goals in 3:02, and then 2 goals in less than a minute twice in the first period. They led 9-1 through the opening 20, and then 13-5 through 40. Dexter Hannigan had a pair in that one, as well as Moon. Sorry, did I say they beat the Raiders? They lost to the Raiders 17-8. They were down 9-1 through 20 minutes of play, then down 13-5 through 40. Hannigan had 2, Lee had 2, Moon, Yeaman, Cook, and Wasson as well scored for the Calgary Mounties. For the Saskatchewan SWAT, wrapping up a weekend series with the Edmonton Miners through 3 games. Started out well, was a 12-10 score, then 13-8, and then finally Sunday they lost 7-1 and put them to 0-7 on the year. The Miners scored first in that one. They were down 3-0 through 20 and 4-0 through 40. Mahussier, the lone goal scorer for the Saskatchewan SWAT, as their last victory in Saskatchewan. While they had 2 forfeit wins in the end of the 2023 season, as you see the coaching staff now come onto the floor for the Saskatchewan SWAT. Dylan Chand, the black golf shirt, he makes his way through center looking for his first victory as the head coach of the Saskatchewan SWAT. Their last victory that they won actually by scoring and winning, May 29th, 2022. A 7-5 victory over the Raiders Lacrosse Club. At that point in time, I believe we're still called the Okotoks Raiders. So Dylan Chand and his group will hope for a better fate today, all for the Calgary Mounties. Obviously, they are looking to improve on their season last year, where the Mounties were 6-9 at 12 points, scored 132 and allowed 132 as well, which is a bit of a drop down by 1 game at least. 7-7-1 in 2023, then a tremendous 12-3 record in 2022 for 24 points. While for the Saskatchewan SWAT, 0-15 last year, 2-13-1 in 2023, 1-14 in 2022. As I mentioned, their lone victory against the Raiders Lacrosse Club, as the Calgary Mounties will make their way onto the floor. All 3 of their victories so far this year have come against the Saskatchewan SWAT. And their last meeting was on May 24th, a 16-6 win. Calgary scored first, led 5-3 through 20, 10-6 through 40. Dexter Hannigan that day had 6 goals. Mason Rockley with a pair. Or before that in Saskatchewan, they won 9-6 and 12-5. Their final meeting will be on Saturday, June 21st. As the SWAT are led onto the floor by Colton Ferguson, while the Calgary Mounties are set for action. SWAT, number of lineup changes today, including without Elijah Pollock Zacharias, which is a very, very big omission from the lineup. Not by injury. We'll elaborate more on that in a little bit, as we'll have O Canada followed by opening faceoff. The 3-2-1 Calgary Mounties will look to Tommy St. Louis, 20 years old, out of Cornwall, Ontario to start. He's 1-2 so far this season, has saved 64 of 81 shots that have come his way, a .790 save percentage, and a .773 goals against average. On the other side of the floor, the Saskatchewan SWAT look to be going to Colton Ferguson. He is 21 years old out of Sylvan Lake, Alberta. Formerly of the Red Deer Chiefs, he's 0-4 as a starter. He has stopped 220 of 266 shots that have come his way, a staggering .827 save percentage, and a goals against average of .1078. Head coach Dylan Chand in his second year behind the bench with the Saskatchewan SWAT. Well, Cody Hawkins had a tremendous conversation with him before the game that I told him I wish I was recording and it was a podcast. And we're underway. Yeaman brings it up to Hayden Wasson, who will be the transition and off, as his brother Arlie activates the offense for the Calgary Mounties. The dissector, Dexter Hannigan, drops it off for Rockley at the net. Stepped in the crease, and that will head the other way. As the SWAT in transition, leading the charge, number 9, Caleb Hensley, the McKinney, Texas product, who Dylan Chan told me is probably the biggest surprise for his group this year, the addition to the lineup. He has been a very, very bright spot, and expect a lot out of him in this contest today. Owen McCarthy moves it along. The guy they call, well, I call the dissector, Hannigan. Into McCarthy again. They try to go to the top side. Loose ball picked up by Wasson. Thought he picked it up. Still looking for it. Finally shovels it up. 3 on the shot clock. He scores! Arlie Wasson surprised Ferguson. A throwaway shot that he just wanted to get a fresh shot clock. And Arlie gets his second goal of the season. And his second one of the first period. I don't think Colton Ferguson expected that, and Arlie again just wanted to avoid the shot clock violation. The American International University product link letter leaves it there for Hannigan. Now the guy they called Dougie, Carter Cook. Pass not clean from Arlie, slipped out of his basket. And the Mounties trying to continue pressure. 10 on the shot clock. Quick stick. Hard ride into the end boards. Dylan Chan, the head coach of the SWAT, told me that he wants the group to stop turning the ball over today. Offense, defense, transition. He said turning the ball over is what has hurt us a lot. We've had our looks to score, haven't been able to score, and if we don't turn the ball over, get better looks, he's pretty confident the group can move it around today. And here's their first chance on offense. Nice little shake move, try to get out in front. Delayed penalty call coming against the Mounties, and the SWAT are going to have an early power play. Slashing the call, and Caden Piquel got his hand in the jar, and he's going to be a little salty here for 2 minutes or less as the power play goes to work for the Saskatchewan SWAT. SWAT on the power play so far 10 of 46 on the year, while the Miners on the penalty kill, 26 for 36. The Mounties have also scored 3 shorthanded goals. So a new unit here, Christian Morin, number 21, the U17 SWAT product. Good release there. Gets deflected and out. Morin, 15 goals for the U17 group through 5 games already this season. He scores! Dylan Scott, power play goal for the SWAT. They needed 22 seconds of power play time, and we are tied up. First periods, chatting with Dylan Chand, not been the issue for the SWAT this year. It's been the later 20 that has been the bigger struggle. They've started well, including the games against the Mounties. They've just had issues in the third. Encroachment. And the ball will go to the Mounties as a violation against the SWATs. Number 4, Seth LePage. Owen McCarthy, story about him that I tried to get in 2 weeks ago. I want to finish that today. Hard bump in front, Cook trying to deliver it to Hannigan. And they're going to call that a penalty on the cross check. Not near the ball, so now the Mounties get a look on their power play. Statistician Chris Colwell scribbling away on his notepad. Mounties on the power play. Not tremendous numbers so far. Well, pretty good. 7 for 25, puts them 3rd in the league. On the penalty kill, the SWAT, 54% have given up 15 power play goals against and have scored 2 shorthanded goals. Hannigan in front, nice save by the goaltender. Another one as Ferguson was there. Big 5'10", 200-pound Colton Ferguson trying to straighten up his net as the SWAT will move it out. Kill some time off the clock. That's Nate Weens, the 18-year-old Saskatoon native. Brings it up, and Scott, the captain, whacks all over the place and gets it to number 20, Ryder Goodwin from Eddington, Maine. A Lander University product as well. 5 games as a sophomore this year. Hard bump, and the SWAT continuing trying to work it. They'll take the violation. And also a couple of bruises to put in an ice bath later as a souvenir. Mounties move it up the floor. .10 remaining in the power play for Calgary. Dexter Hannigan. What a special season for him. More on him later in the broadcast. 16 goals already for number 19 as they work it around with the man advantage. Arlie Wasson has the tally to Volans. Return feed to Arlie at the top. Works it to Dexter. Quick stick. Lee missed. Hannigan again. Nice save on a loose ball picked up by Saskatchewan. And they get it out of the zone, and they'll got enough time. They'll even get a chance. Shot just missed the far side. Good delivery by Josh Weston, the Saskatoon native, a Wilmington University Division II product as well. McCarthy to Volans. They're going to play pitch and catch back and forth to Mason Rockley. Up top to McCarthy. Volans shakes at the net. Ferguson the save. Loose ball. Fresh 30. No, it isn't. Bouncing around still, and they'll try to keep it in, and they do. Just barely avoids the red line. Penalty has expired, as has the shot clock, and the Saskatchewan SWAT out of Saskatoon will take over in the offensive zone. Play whistled in for Paul Piché, a University of Saskatchewan first-team All-Star in the 2024 McDonald Cup. High hopes on Piché, and a hard bump from behind. That's going to be checking from behind, which will, no, it won't be. Okay. Never mind, I spoke too soon. Brady Murphy, bright spot for the Mounties this year, and they've got a number of them. More on him later in the broadcast as well. Screen set, Arlie pays the price, 15 on the clock. Arlie still got it, fires, Ferguson. No problem for him, stick side. Up the floor comes Nate Weens, another member of that Sentinels program. Drops it off for Luoma, and around for Dylan Scott. And to big Christian Morin. Shot from distance, blocked by Linkletter. And Carter, the tank, leaves it for Barrett Clark, and some confusion there with changes as the tough as sandpaper Owen McCarthy leaves it there for Arlie Wasson. Lee. Rockley heading to the net. Lee couldn't find him. 10 left on the 30-second shot clock. Hannigan works it around McCarthy. Rockley fires. He scores. Mason Rockley. 7th goal of the year for the University of Indianapolis product. And the Mounties have the lead again. Talked to Mason Rockley before the game about just the evolution of this offense this year. And he said, Dave, we got to be better in all facets of offense. Getting open looks, ball positioning, penalty call coming. Things get nasty early. And a hard bump in the corner. Delayed penalty, power play coming up for the Mounties. Net empty as Volens shoots it out of play, and the infraction coming against Saskatchewan. Referees will confer. There's a lot of rough stuff going on at center, and they'll see if it's just one. It is. So it's Caleb Hensley. The Quincy University has 8 goals, 25 points this year. Took 81 shots. Graduate of McKinney Boyd High School. And he'll sit down for 2 minutes or less as Dexter Hannigan will go to work. Way up top for Volens. Rockley rotates into his setup spot. Nice move, Volens. Another one. Gets a shot at the net. Ferguson had to make a difficult save. And Weens again. Up the floor for the SWAT. Look at the motor on this guy. Weens! Short-handed chance. Great save by Tommy St. Louis. As Hannigan. Wasson directing, says move to the center for Hannigan. Leaves it there for McCarthy. Cody Hawkins told me Owen McCarthy, when he leaves the rink at 9 o'clock, McCarthy's just getting there, and he's practicing by himself for an hour, working on all aspects of his game. Said he's always the last one at the rink and the first one there every day. 145 pounds soaking wet, but plays like he's 250. Said he's just loved the compete level of Owen McCarthy, and he's so valuable to the group. As here come the SWAT. Less than a minute to go on the second infraction against them, and a good move by Piquel to fight it off the stick of Hawkins-Steen. Cook now. Hannigan, him and Mason Rockley, roommates this year. More on that later in the broadcast. Volens rips it. Saved by Ferguson. I don't know if he got a piece of it. Actually bounces out of territory. So Saskatchewan will essentially be able to kill the rest of this Calgary power play. That's not a good move, as Linkletter will happily take that. Dylan Chan said, don't turn the ball over. Well, so far that's been something the SWAT have dealt with. McCarthy activates, and the shot, I say, by Ferguson. So the first one surprised him. Hidden ball trick on Hannigan didn't fool him. Volens, Ferguson got a piece of it, fresh 30. And the SWAT take it and go. Stowe Francis, a ripper, a rebound. Just missed. Always great compete out of the 21-year-old Swift Current product, also a member of University of Saskatchewan. Harley rips it. Rebound, what a save by Ferguson. That was anything but easy. Right in tight on a guy who knows how to bury Mason Rockley. Great start so far for pace. Grayson Malkowski now, the 18-year-old Saskatoon native. To the captain, Steen, works it around. He scores! Carter Michaluk absolutely uncorked it. And we're back, tied up at 2. Played in the Founders last year with Mountain View at 8 goals, 16 points in 5 games. Another encroachment against Saskatchewan, so the Mounties will get it again. Yeaman trying to move it forward. Up to Harley. Now to Volens. Works it around. Quick stick in front, the BTB for Lee. Loose ball, picked up. Can't get a shot away, Volans. He's behind the net. Carter Cook, the guy they call Dougie. In tight. Goes behind Colton Tegg. He knocks it out of bounds. Tegg's missed a little bit of time this year. Good to see him back in action again for the Mounties. That's Caleb Hensley. Ryder Goodwin out there as well. Shot blocked. Luoma has no idea where it is. And it ends up going all the way down in his zone and picked up before it enters the goal crease. So Hudson Isaacs activates the offense, goes off. Now Hannigan. Hannigan fires. Nice save by Ferguson again. Loose ball picked up by Saskatchewan. And the SWAT bring it out. Colby Jones. Almost hits the official on the exchange. SWAT get the offense out. And it's Morin. 10 left in the shot clock. And here Dylan Chansey shoots. They're going to give the ball away again. And Richards has it. He steps up. Richards. Saved by Ferguson. And it's the media timeout. Entertaining start to this one. 2-2 the score. We'll step aside from the stew and be back. Hang on. In front. As Saskatchewan just sir 10 left. The cycle. Having them read it. The psychology side said he's got all of his members of his group a psychology book, and he's having them read it all about mental toughness and the preparations, the inner ins and the outs of how to stay sharp throughout a season. More on that throughout the broadcast today. Great forced turnover by Hudson Isaacs. On the defensive side of the game is what Cody Hawkins has done at an elite level throughout his years coaching. Spends a lot of time coaching the younger generation as well, and have a story about that, involvement in the community later on here today. Dave Dawson on HN Live. Glad you're hanging out with us on your Saturday evening. Captain Lance Phillips on camera, Chris Cole, my producer. 10 left of the shot clock. Quick stick, saved by Ferguson. Both goalies been sharp today. 13 shots on goal unofficially for the Mounties, so Ferguson's been the busier of the two. Lee fires. Another one on, and another save by Colton Ferguson, backed up today by Crosby Rat. Justin Melnick backing up Tommy St. Louis today. And another Saskatchewan turnover. Is it football season already? Just kidding. Riders are going to win it all this. Shade. I'm actually giving credit where credit's due. Dave, shut up. Let's talk about lacrosse. You're right, we should. 17 left on the shot clock. Rockley works it around. Colton Tegg forces the net and steps in the crease. And he'll send Saskatchewan out the other way. Luoma sends it around to Goodwin. Sets a screen. A Steen now. Trying to find a path. Got nothing there. Has to go to Goodwin down low. He's thinking of it. Cutting off the net right in front. And I believe that hit the post. Maybe St. Louis got a piece in transition. Up to Clark. He fires. He scores! Barrett Clark, is that his first Junior A goal? I believe that is. The 6th round pick, 22nd overall last year. Barrett Clark, the Red Deer native, has his first Junior A goal. And what a setup by Carter Linkletter. He pointed to him right away. Yeaman's out. Saved by Ferguson. Special moment for that youngster. Pay the price. Look at Carter Cook administer difficulty like Cook Mountie members have done for years. Carter drafted by the Roughnecks and just recently released a couple of weeks ago, but a month ago I believe. Didn't make the active roster this year, and very positive. He says it's the option to go back or surveys his options in the offseason. Very amicable young man, as his older brother certainly is as well, and enjoying his NLL career right now too. SWAT battle for the loose ball, and they'll bring it out. Grayson Malkowski waits for the offense to come out, and it's Morin. Up for Goodwin. 12 left in the shot clock for the SWAT. Morin fires, didn't miss by much, and the bounce will bring it all the way back into the Saskatchewan zone. Possession to the Calgary Mounties. Shot 16-6 unofficially in the opening period, 6 to go. Game 2 of our doubleheader. Doubleheader tomorrow as well. Well, sort of. Both games are about an hour and a half apart from each other, so if one goes quick. Hannigan tries to avoid the goal crease, does admirably. Pressured hard by Elijah Pollock Zacharias, who is supposed to be admitted from the lineup today, unless I'm reading it wrong. No, that's Matthias Stadinger. I knew that didn't look like EPZ, as they call him. More on him in a bit. Nice move in front. Fires. It's saved by St. Louis. So Weens again. He's had a good game. Fleet-footed youngster for Saskatchewan. Liked what he's seen out of him. He's really, really exhausted those lungs in the opening period. $10 left in the shot clock for Calgary. Rockley to Cook. Trying to return feed. Saskatchewan airtight here defensively. Paying the price hard. Yeaman involved in it. Pretty decent scrum there with McGuire Smith, who's no stranger to tough stuff. Attends Walsh University. He had 18 created turnovers, caused turnovers through 18 games this year for Walsh Division II. Hockenstein. Hard bump there in front. Richards has had a gritty game as well. And Linkletter carries it over for the Calgary Mounties. Hannigan blocked with the great stick of Hensley. Dylan Chan calls him the stud on the backside, and I can see why. The one bouncer over to Teamstra. And another ozone turnover. This time Paul Piché couldn't get to it, and Piché, oh boy, he wants a Piché, a Piquel. There's some good weight to that young man. 5'10", $195 it says on my roster. Looks to me more like 210, but that's all right. McCarthy. 5 left in the shot clock for Calgary. Might be forced into one here. And an illegal screen set. Injured Mountie player behind the play. Didn't see the number there. Looks like number 24 Lee. It's Carter Lee, the Calgary product. Seton Hill University will have training staff attend to him. The trainer is Mac Ford. So over to the Calgary bench if you can, Lance, while his training staff works on Lee as he's favoring, looks to be his left shoulder there. So Cody Hawkins, you can see him chat on the bench there with some of his teammates about some different concepts. Cody told me before the game that brought a psychology coach in to the team this year, and he felt in the game on Wednesday against the Raiders that when we got scored on first, we will slip into that oh shoot mentality, and he used a different word, but said you don't want to drop into that mentality. You got to remember these kinds of things are part of a long season, and the ebbs and flows and the bumps and the bruises, and he said we haven't found our identity yet as a team. We're still trying to find it, where we played the SWAT 3 times, we played the Miners once, we played the Raiders a couple times, and we're still trying to find out who we are, and measuring up against the Raiders, called them, essentially the class of the league so far, the top, I didn't use the word class, but one of the top teams in the league. Difficult measuring stick, but more on that in a bit. As Goodwin now to Morin, trying to shake by. He's got moves for a big boy. Look at him, he can move. SWAT still have possession. Hard bump, trying to dislodge it, and turnover created by the Mounties. That's good hard defense which created it. Brady Murphy, the youngster, 16-year-old. Boy, can he move. Well, he turned 17 2 weeks ago. Should make that clear. Shot on, misses the net. A bouncer to McCarthy. McCarthy works it. Hannigan, legal screen set, and Saskatchewan will take over. Colby Jones, the Saskatoon native, off the floor, and Goodwin out now. Pressured hard at the line. Want to create that turnover before they're able to work it in towards the goal. Steen, 14 to shoot. St. Louis makes the save, swallows it, and Calgary takes over. No second chance opportunity for Saskatchewan. 2 to go, period 2. This game flying. Harley. Period 1, not period 2. I knew that something was missing. I'm like, am I going to get home before midnight tonight? Volans, 10 left on the shot clock. Harley in tight, fires, nice save. Kicked away by Ferguson. Friendly fire there as Wasson picks it up. Goes across for tag. Excuse me, that is Hannigan. Nope, that's Yeaman. Quick stick. And Saskatchewan takes over possession. 81 seconds remaining in period number 1. Hawkins, Steen to Luoma. Back to Steen. 10 gone. Again, this is the area the Mounties have done a great job against the SWAT. Forced a lot of turnovers with getting stick on stick and dislodging it. You'll do your offense quite a favor, and your goalie quite a favor as well if you don't let the group shoot. That's a play successful in any sport. Tag to Rockley. Trying to quick stick it to Hannigan, jump to get it. And Ferguson made his 16th save of the opening period, now 17th. He'll sit on it. And Saskatchewan will work it for a little bit. Work as much clock. No, now they're going to call timeout, so shot clock is off. 29.4 remaining in the opening period. 30 on the shot clock, obviously, so they'll be able to work the entire possession. Head coach Dylan Chand has the clipboard ready. I asked Dylan before the game, I asked actually every coach this that I've talked to today, to the previous game earlier. If they say that a team is what their coach is, so reflects what their personality, their coach. Dylan, what were you as a player? And he said, mean. I want to be mean. I want to be out there to defend my teammates. If someone comes at my goalie, you better believe I'm going to fight for them. If someone comes at one of my offensive players as a D-man, I'm going to run down the floor and put it back to them. Said I want to instill in my group that meanness, and I think mean obviously can mean a few different things, but in the context of sport, within the confines of the rules, lacrosse has a little bit of that viciousness. So he said, the meanness is what allows you to be able to have the ability to play the game you want to play. Still looking for his first victory as the head coach of the Saskatchewan SWAT is Dylan Chand. As the SWAT will work it till the clock goes off, Seth LePage now with 12 on the clock. Morin, they rotate, looking for the shooter. That might be number 21. They can't find him. Now they let it go. Fresh 30, good release, Seth LePage. And another one late, just missed. Net empty, can they get a shot? No, they won't. They got it protected. Entertaining opening period. 3-2 Calgary leads through 20 shots, 20-9 unofficially at the Stu Peppard Arena. This is Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League Junior action on hnlive.ca. There, but he said in elementary school, he used to get into a lot of trouble, and so the parents and teachers said rather than punishing him, why don't we institute some community service into him? So he started volunteering with the autistic community and has been a part of their society for a number of years and involved with the charity, and has obviously a young son that he coaches and spends a lot of time with the young people, and said it's been such an important part that has helped him shape him to the person that he's been. And I laughed and said, Hawk, sometimes people love working with kids, but the kids love working with you is something totally different. And these kids right now, the Mounties, have certainly been wired up well and have responded to the opening period of play. A good period out of the Saskatchewan SWAT as well, where for Calgary, 3 different goal scorers. Arlie Wasson got it started. Mason Rockley had goal 2. And Barrett Clark, his first goal in Junior A. If you can find 28 purple there somewhere in the pack, Lance, I'm not sure if you can or not on the spur of the moment here, but he might be heading off the floor because he's an offensive guy. But Mason Rockley, and chatting with him before the game, talked about playing in Indianapolis, and I said, hey, you watching the NBA Finals? He goes, yeah, it's kind of crazy what's going on with the Pacers. He's like, he went to a couple Pacers games this year, went to a Colts game, and he said, and I quote, if the Pacers win the NBA championship, when I go back to Indy in the summer, I'm going to burn the city down in a way of celebrating with them. That was what he was saying. So a funny moment. And transition, physical already off the hop, and the SWAT score. Hawkenstein, stage set by Dylan Scott, and they tie it up 15 seconds into the period. A vicious contact off the faceoff, and the SWAT fire it up the floor, and Steen, the captain. They tie it right up. Couldn't even finish my story. Yeaman wants to get it back, and he almost does. Nice save by Ferguson. So Hawkenstein, goal number 5 on the year for him. There's Mason Rockley, number 28. Moves it around to Lee. Cook now, 15 left on the shot clock. Tag fires. It deflects. And the SWAT are going to pick it up. They're trying to get it in possession, but wouldn't hop on the basket of Colby Jones. So 3 different goal scorers for Saskatchewan, 3 different goal scorers for Calgary. Some confusion at center, as the official will then give the ball to the Mounties, and Rockley takes over to Hudson Isaacs. Cross to Volans, 1 on the clock. They get a shot away. And a fresh 30. Good effort from Volans. And applause from the bench as well as McCarthy continues to battle. Owen McCarthy now. Arley steps off. Devert, and a penalty call coming against Dexter Hannigan, who's going to get involved in an illegal screen and all kinds of body parts all twisted up. So no, won't be a penalty. Just going to call it an illegal screen, and they'll give the SWAT the ball. So an early second period goal. It is going to be a penalty. He is going to the box. Okay. Didn't see him heading off. So power play for Saskatchewan on the cross check. Chris Colwell making all kinds of signals with his arms, and I finally look at him. So Saskatchewan with their second power play, I believe, of the game. They're 1 for 1 to my memory. As that shot misses. Morin, good win to Morin. Nice delay, fires, misses. And the ball bounces up into the rafters, which will give possession to the Calgary Mounties. 3 shorthanded goals so far this year. And Lee hoping to eat some time off the clock. That's the main goal. If they get a second possession, that's a bonus. Tag has room. Tag, you're not it. It ends up going to the Saskatchewan possession, and they head the other way. Hensley to Steen. The captain waits to set up. Morin works it around. Scott. Morin, the shooter here. They want to get him a good look. Oh boy, that one hurt Hayden Wasson. I think it hit him right in the hand. That shot directly, or maybe a little lower than the hand. That might be in a spot that not many people want that ball getting hit. You can tell from the reaction. At first I thought hand. Nope. That's not hand. Anyone who's been hit there knows how that feels. Shake it off, young man. And he is, like a tough guy. Owie. To quote Cody Jansen, the voice of the Saskatchewan Rush from the President's Cup 3 years ago, that did not hit him in the knee. She gets a round of applause, as most people should when they survive contact in that area. It's funny in the sense that I remember the clip from Paul Maurice when Blake Wheeler of the Winnipeg Jets blocked a shot with that part, and they talked about it in the postgame. Anyway, I'll finish that story in a bit, but there's more to do with the relief, like, oh, thank goodness didn't hit him in the hand, right? It's just, you laugh, you're like, aren't those parts? Well, never mind. Richards brings it up the floor, lets it go, and a nice save by Ferguson. That's just the mindset of a coach, right? It's like, oh, you didn't break your hand, that's good. Well, we're happy to Watson's all right. As the Mounties will try and evaporate the remaining seconds off of this penalty for Saskatchewan, but SWAT will get one more opportunity to move it along as it's whistled in. Leading the charge still Francis. Out of Dylan Scott. Got one today. Over to Luoma. To Steen. To Luoma. Dodges at the net. Rebound. Nice save by St. Louis. Hasn't had a lot of work today. That's on the shot clock, unofficially his 11th shot. Calgary has taken 24 of them. As Brady Murphy moves it up the floor now to Lee. Lee's had a great start to the season for Calgary as well. Volans now. 15 left to work with on the shot clock. One hand shovel to Tag. Tag slides by one and another. Still gets a shot away. What did he shoot that with his elbow? Both of his arms were tied up. That was incredible effort by Colton Tagg. And Saskatchewan now, Hensley. May 29th, 2022. The last time Saskatchewan won a game, and they score. They've got a lead. Christian Morin, the U17 SWAT affiliate, 15 goals in 5 games in under 17 this year. And he's got a big one here for the SWAT as they have their first lead of the game. I believe that's Morin's first goal as well in Junior A. Nope, he's got 4 previously, 5 for him. So 5 in 6 games for Morin. What a great addition to the lineup for Dylan Chan's group. Trying to attack the net as Francis one-arms it. I've always loved the effort of Stowe Francis every time I've watched him play. Just relentless. Richards, unsung hero for the Mounties, ditches it for Rockley. Had a great chat with him about rooming with Carter Cook before the game. Hold that thought. McCarthy, he scores! What a feed. Owen McCarthy cuts through and gets the goal back. I believe that was number 2, Lance, or was it 3? I think that was number 2, yeah. Second guessing myself. Always go with your first instinct. Unless you don't have a roster, then never go with that instinct, which I do. McCarthy, second of the year. Linkletter up the floor. Tries to spin around. Volans sidesteps. Volans across the floor, not clean for Dexter. Scoops it up though. 10 left on the shot clock for Hannigan. Fires. Fresh 30 and hit the net. And here's Weens again. Fleet-footed. Can't get to the ball. Over and back. Saskatchewan starts off. What do they got here? Goodwin to Morin. Nice offering. St. Louis kicks it away. Off the stick of Michaluk, who's got a goal today as well. Good battle up the floor for Piquel. McCarthy doesn't see that he was the intended target. As now Lee works it around for the Mounties. Carter Lee, 5 points in 3 games so far. Rockley to McCarthy, 5 left in the shot clock. Cook trying to get to it, gets one away, and another good save by Ferguson. Shot 27 on him already. Not even halfway through the game yet. Goodwin around for LePage. Shot blocked, 10 left, another shot blocked again. No surprise, Carter Linkletter's involved in all of that. Up to Murphy. Andy Yeaman. U.S. high school hockey star, product of Newell County. Lake Newell, I should say, on the cross feed for a tag. Couldn't collect it. Fresh 30. Good battle behind. Stepped in the crease, though, so Saskatchewan takes over. Grayson Malkowski works it around to the captain, Steen. In behind, Luoma. Up top. Shot blocked again. Calgary's done a really good job of that today in a battle with Devert on the loose ball. They're going to give the arrow to Calgary. Nice BTB there from Clark, who got his first today. Rockley, Volans. Volans sidesteps across. Dexter. Nice save by Ferguson. And they're going to call back in on Saskatchewan. So Calgary will get the ball with a full glass of water. Rockley, off speed. Tried to catch Ferguson. And a collision with a penalty call coming to the Mounties. A holding call. Puts Saskatchewan to the power play. 1 for 2 in the game so far. Penalized players at 8, Lance. Yeah, Carter Cook. Older brother Connor, the whole Cook family. Great Lethbridge people. Corey Bro, our company president, runs into them pretty often in Lethbridge area and always love interacting with them. Morin to Scott. Working it to Luoma. Morin thinks about it. Morin now. Scott. Luoma. Scott. Morin. Hard screen set. A little bit too hard. And right as the shot went off, and that might have been a good one for Saskatchewan, but a bad break for them. Good one for the Mounties. Carter Linkletter. Anytime it's in his basket, it's good news. Richards works it around. Colton Tagg. So many similarities to him and Rockley. Tagg's got about 5 extra pounds on him, I believe. As no shot away. Saskatchewan works it up. Nice pass in front. Hawkinstein, where is it? Might be stuck in the equipment of Tommy St. Louis. It is. But a great transition play. That part of the game that Saskatchewan has grown leaps and bounds on over the last 3 years. Dylan Chand has worked tirelessly with his group on the speed game, and still Francis took a hard whack on his left arm, trying to sell it to the official, and they don't bite. 10 left on the clock. Quick stick, one arm for Dexter, and Saskatchewan carries. This young man, quite a story. That is Matthias Stadlinger from Austria, who has come over and playing in his second game. Dylan Chan met him. He said he was out in Austria with his girlfriend. He ended up coaching a bunch of their players, and a number of them have reached out, and Stadlinger being one of them. And here you go, another goal for Saskatchewan. A second on the power play. Is that Morin again? Number 21, Morin. His second goal of the game. The affiliates getting it done for the SWAT today. They restore their lead. 2 power play goals for the SWAT. Anyway, to finish my thought on that, the Saskatchewan SWAT group, as many have probably watched over the years, as the season has wore on, the belief kind of removes from the roster. There are just a number of components that coaches have felt have been working against them. Well, player retention right now is working for them. And it's really helping this group is get off the schneid, as they would love to get their first victory that they would play to win, to get a win since May 29th, 2022. They got a pair of wins against the Miners by forfeit because the Miners had ineligible players on the roster, 2 at the end of the year in 2023. So the SWAT looking for the first play-to-win victory since 2022. And they score! Nope. Stepped in the crease, Carter Cook waved off. Hensley now. Goodwin. Belief in the room is what I've been told by Dylan Chan. They still very much believe. 60 minutes, they want to play a full game. Goodwin fires St. Louis. Stops it. Shot 16 on him. Up the floor for Hudson Isaacs. Isaacs has help. Screen set. He's got a path. Isaacs. His brother, a member of the Calgary Roughnecks this year. Riley, and we've hit the media timeout. 5-4, the SWAT lead. We'll be back to the Stoop Apart in Calgary. Saskatchewan SWAT, Matthias Stadlinger, an addition from Vienna, Austria, part of the Vienna Monarchs program, and Dylan Chand has done an incredible job recruiting, bringing in new talent into the program where sometimes talent hasn't remained in Saskatchewan with a pro team in the same city, and Chand doing great things, including across the ocean as well. Shot on from Goodwin. And up the floor come the Mounties, trying to chase it down. Linkletter can't shovel it over. Hard screen set. The SWAT aren't able to get it back into the O-zone. So the Mounties will take over with possession. Linkletter, quick, trying to get it to Yeaman. Slips out of his stick. Couldn't haul it in. Lee works it to Carter Cook. To tag in front, and no shot for him. On the wraparound, as they would call it in hockey, almost a slam dunk from behind. Calgary gets a fresh 30. Bench trying to get their team into it. Down 5-4. Not in a clean reception there by Wasson, but he's able to rotate around. 10 left on the shot clock. Hannigan fires. Ferguson the save. Good hard battle for a loose ball. Hensley trying to get to it. And another possession for the Calgary Mounties with a clean 30. 32-17 in shots. Fourth meeting of the year already between these two teams. Across to Hannigan. Couldn't pick it up. Carter Cook. Volans fires. He scores. First goal for Liam Volans. The 20-year-old. As a member of the Calgary Mounties. 17 goals, 25 points. That's what Chris Colwell's stat sheet says, at least. Pretty sure it's number one for Vol. He says he's played one game this year. Is that right? Okay. Chris emphatically nods. He knows what's going on. You never doubt the professor. Right back in it. Murphy. Nice save, rebound, and a big one for Ferguson. Maybe not his best, but certainly a timely one. As the SWAT will look to get back in front again. Malkowski puts it across. Goodwin has to one-arm it. Not able to. Goes back over. Linkletter might have a break if he's quick. Linkletter, big save by Ferguson. The loose ball picked up. Saskatchewan transition. Hawkins Steen saved, and up the other way we go. Down the yellow header of the QE2. You pick your poison, Yeaman. And he'll slow things down a little bit. The U.S. high school hockey standout. Played U18 or 18 and under AAA last year, as well as U.S. high school hockey. Shot on. Hannigan made the save. And a good offering. McCarthy now. That's going to miss. As the SWAT will pick it up and move. Still Francis, one of their best players today in green and white. Goodwin works it around for Steen. Hawkins Steen. 20 goals, 33 points for Quincy University this year. Goodwin at the net. Saved by St. Louis. So a pair of first goals as a Mountie today. One from Volans and the other one from Barrett Clark. Volans looking for more, and he looked to have gotten some trouble there on that shot. He's going to find his way off the floor. Looks to be okay. Nice swim move by Murphy. Are you kidding me, kid? Every time I watch 25 in purple, he impresses me and gets better and better and better and better. BTB, shot on early. Ferguson, Mounties say it's in, as Ferguson falls back and keeps it out. Timeout called by Saskatchewan. They want to settle things down. Saskatchewan bench, if you can there, Lance. Dylan Chan told me before the game that we joked about how I said the last time these two teams played, the SWAT couldn't score in the third. He said he was listening to the game and he's like, forget you, Dave. Went into the room and said, guys, we got to score in the third. And they started to do better in that category, but talked about how his group has played about 35 minutes on average every game, and after that, they start to kind of cave, and they get away from what they want to do. I said, Dylan, where does that come from? Why does that happen? Is it conditioning? He said, no, I think like often in those moments, he said the group is down and they just forget about what they're trying to accomplish, what they're trying to do, get away from the system, start to get selfish. Where, you know, trying to instill that consistency, as you see him explaining on the board, that he said the belief, Dave, is still very much in the room, even though we're 0-7. And he's still looking for his first victory as the head coach of the SWAT. Says the belief is still very much there. Have the room. Guys want to be here. Great sign. Great game it has been. Good win. Brings it over, turning and firing more in. That's a setup play they wanted. St. Louis tried to surprise them. They couldn't. Fleet-footed Hayden Wasson. Looks to be a little more mobile than the last time we saw him. And great effort at the line as McGuire Smith forces the turnover. No Elijah Pollock Zacharias today, as Dylan Chan mentioned to me that want to get better at location of their shots. And has felt that this is a spot for EPZ, as they called him, to sit out. We're part of the rotation for the group. Piquel, nice spin move, Piquel! Oh my goodness, almost highlight reel worthy. That was something spectacular. Almost a Booker T spinneroonie. Rockley, 10 gone on the shot clock, Volans. McCarthy, 15 left. Rockley, bouncer. Ferguson to save, Volans loose ball. Shot on again, Ferguson to save. Goes out of play, Saskatchewan will get it. Hensley. Eyes on Captain Steen. Great swim move by the Texan. And the SWAT will continue to work with it. Steen loads, fires. Don't know if that went on target. Maybe it did. Richards picks up, no. Great battle by Hawkins Steen to get the loose ball and fight it out of Richards. Stowe Francis can't one-hand it, now he gets it. How good has he been today? Very workmanlike game, much like Caden Flett earlier for the Edmonton Miners, even though they lost. This guy's been great today too. Morin sets a screen, working it around Scott. And now Mason Luoma. Luoma sidesteps, didn't have the juice to get by. 2 left, he's got to shoot it, he doesn't see the clock, now they do. And a ball right out in front. Scott thought he might have had a loose biscuit as Yeaman carries it over for the Calgary Mounties. Caden Yeaman, 16 goals and 16 points for Tilton High School this year. As that shot goes on. No problem for Ferguson. SWAT carried over. That's Josh Weston, the sophomore at Wilmington University Division II. 2:30 remaining, period 2. Steen stops. Steen fires. Saved by St. Louis. Up the floor to Piquel. He might have time. Piquel's got help. He doesn't need it. Piquel just misses. Ferguson might have got a piece of it too, and Piquel continues to work. Francis up. Another turnover again by Saskatchewan. Transition play. Free ball for Linkletter and the Calgary Mounties to work with Barrett Clark. One hands it up to Yeaman, or Volans rather. Volans across. Volans again. Zipper. Nice save. Rebound. There, McCarthy. Loose ball. Fresh 30. Volans fires Ferguson again. Another loose ball. And another fresh 30. Another loose ball as Ferguson knocked down by the stick of Volans, and Saskatchewan still cannot collect as the Mounties will take over possession again. Yeaman up the floor. Grace dive robbed by Ferguson, his best of the game yet. Up the floor. Hensley's seen enough. He puts it on. 1 and out as the Mounties transition. Clark collects. Final minute of play, period 2. Colton Ferguson. Hope they don't make him drive the bus on the way home. No, they're playing tomorrow, so he'll be in a hotel. Another save. And another loose ball. Look at the work by Cook. Tag misses. And another loose ball for the Mounties. Colton Tag to Linkletter. Working it around McCarthy. 15 on the shot clock. Firing on net. Another loose ball for Calgary. Linkletter misses. Might set a record in Junior A for loose balls today. At least in period 2. Chris, what are we at? 29 in period 2? A lot. Just a lot. That's all he can say. A lot. Saskatchewan will have the final possession of period 2. See what they can work with. Across to Morin. He has a pair already. To Scott. He's got one. Scott slips out of his basket. And a timeout called by Cody Hawkins. You could hear him from the Max Bell. Has 6.6 remaining. Shot clock will be off. They'll pull the goalie. The Calgary Mounties, that was crazy I said 29, have 30 loose balls in period 2. How many for Saskatchewan? Six. Oh, 15. Okay. Fourth meeting of the year between these two groups. These two teams will wrap things up Saturday, June 21st. I believe I'm on the roster to call that one. Final possession to the Mounties. Oops, that's not what they were looking for. They might make something out of anything, though. Nope, can't get a shot away. A late shot, that might bring some unfriendlies. A fiery start to period 2. And a fun finish. 5-5 through 40. Dave Dawson here at hnlive.ca. Be back for period 3 and maybe more coming up from the Stoop Apart.
America.
Coaching role last year and had a lot to work with prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. The SWAT were a real contender in Junior A. After that, it's been a difficult ride. 2021, they were 1-8. 2022, 1-14. And 2023, 2-12-1, but really 0-14-1. Those two victories were forfeit wins at the end of the season. 0-15 last year when he took over. And it really felt, he said, that he made progress with the group, you know, trying to bring in players, recruiting, going to different areas from Regina and even across, you know, he's spending time, as I mentioned, in Austria with his girlfriend and ended up coaching some of the lacrosse groups there and trying to make an impact in the community and trying to get buy-in from the whole province and top to bottom. And you want that relationship with, you know, the pro team there and the different organizations, the minor groups, and try to develop that from top to bottom in the organization. You want to be able to be on the same page and continuing to evolve that. And a relationship guy is Dylan Chandon, needs the resources to do it and says that he's been making a lot of progress in that category and really feels that the group believes in him. Where coming in this year, there was some of that old mindset he talked about, where this year, new mindset, and it's good for lacrosse as well, and not only in Saskatchewan and Alberta and in Canada. For the RMLL, only 4-team league, to be stronger and stronger and stronger, and having a strong Saskatchewan team is a part of that. And here we are underway, period number 3. 5 different goal scorers for, no, that's a lie. 5 for Calgary, 4 different ones. Morin's got 2 for Saskatchewan. As the SWAT will get the ball on offense, and they'll head up the floor. Caleb Hensley, 6'2", 200-pound, 20-year-old in McKinney, Texas. All of those things, certified toughness, and you add Texas to that. That puts a bookend on it. Goodwin, he's tough as well. Can't find a lane though, tough path. Luoma works it, fires, misses the net. Saskatchewan has gotten much better throughout the last couple of games at not losing the gas in the tank in period 3. Chan told me on Sunday he thought they played really well, they just couldn't score. So they had the looks, being 7-1 they were in it, just couldn't find the net. Clark brings it across center. Owen McCarthy now. Sidestep, nice screen set on the give and go in front to Cook, fires. And a save they're going to call back in against Saskatchewan. So McCarthy picks up 1 goal today for the Mounties. McCarthy waits for the screen. Slow developing, tag now, Volans. Volans, the Peterborough product. Shot on, nice save again by Ferguson. Loose balls have been dominated by the Mounties, and they get another one. Crowd appreciating it as well. Such an important component of inserting your will on the other team, and a nice save by Ferguson. Instilling is the word, not inserting. As Weens tries to call the offense out here. Trying to get by. Up for Morin. Can hear Cody Hawkins yelling, chase it, chase it. Goodman to Morin with 2. He's got a look. Shot on. Oh, it squeaks through St. Louis and goes behind. Boy, has Morin ever been sensational today for the SWAT. Linkletter. Up to Yeaman. And now Hannigan. Shot on from Early. Blocked. Loose ball chasing down. SWAT will initiate contact, which will give them the ball. And injured player for Saskatchewan down on the floor. Still Francis. That's a bad omission. Oh boy, they cannot afford for him to be injured. Not putting any pressure on his left ankle. That is a guy, Saskatchewan's building momentum. You do not want to be without Still Francis. Hopefully he's okay as the training staff will work on him. Hawkenstein starts it out, Luoma. Working it around, Scott. Across, Steen. Can't find a lane. Luoma. Michaluk. 15 left for 15. Luoma. Aaron pass for Steen. He locates it. It's bouncing. Luoma off the post. Mason Luoma so close. Found it. Much like Corey Perry did with less than a minute to go last night. Well, a little bit different, but Scott. Goodwin at the net and a save by Tommy St. Louis. Up to Hudson Isaacs, whose grandfather was sitting beside me. Hold that thought in front. He scores. Grandpa loves that one. What a transition play as Colton Tagg, quick up the floor out of nowhere, finds the back of the net. Goal number 3 on the year in game number 3 for Colton Tagg. What a feed from Hudson Isaacs. His older brother Riley in action this weekend. Cook back in again as the Mounties have their first lead since it was 4-3. Or 3-2, I believe. Tagg fires. Saved by Ferguson. Had a great goaltender battle today. Delaying at the line was Josh Weston up to Steen, gets a shot. I don't believe it hit the net. Steen saying it did. Yep. So they're going to give the SWAT the ball. Mason Luoma works it around for Scott. Hard on by Richards again. Great performance out of Richards. Look at the battle. And his team gets a loose ball because of it. And a change of possession. Those are great hard minutes by number 26 of the Mounties. Jaden Richards, the Medicine Hat native, was their 9th round pick, 33rd overall in 2022. Volans. Ottawason. 10 left in the shot clock for Calgary. Volans to the BTB, misses. McCarthy, 3 on the clock. And held in to the crease by Saskatchewan as the Austrian brings it across the line. Stadlinger does a great job holding it in. And Piquel will come out with the loose ball, and Stadlinger making sure he pays the price for it. Hannigan now, 15 on the clock. Lee works it. Hannigan zips it. Save made, rebound right there, loose ball. And another loose ball again for the Mounties. Hensley picks it up. Hensley up the floor. He might have a path. He thinks about it. 3 purple jerseys. Can't get a shot away. Knocked down, another loose ball. Numbers for the Mounties. Yeaman can't shoot it. Steer it away. Rockley, he scores. Great work by the Brooks product kid, Yeaman. Out front to Mason Rockley. Has his second of the game. 28 if he can. Lance, hang on him for a second. Mason Rockley told me before the game that out of the frustration in that game on Wednesday, everything about the group had to get better, he said, including himself. On the offensive side, he said, Dave, it was shot location, it was shot selection, it was screens, it was looks, it was all of it. Group wants to get better in that category, and they're certainly better today. What they're better at is picking up all the loose balls, which Saskatchewan had the momentum, but this has forced the arrow the other way. Mounties now up by 2. Chris, I think this is the first 2-goal lead of the game. Rockley on hat-trick watch. Pays the price along the boards. Up to Carter Cook, the roommate of Rockley. Fires, deflected over top. Carter Cook told me, he said he's never roomed with Rockley before. He said they're such a nice family. I get fed well and we're getting to become better and better friends. Laughed pretty hard about that one, but said they're becoming really good buds and it's really helping to grow not only their chemistry on the floor, but their relationship. Said he gets fed well too. The Rockley family eats well, he said. Good battle in the O-zone here with SWAT on offense. Goodwin fires! Oh, I thought that was labeled for far corner. Goodwin thought he had it too. Good hard bump across Richards. SWAT might pick it up. They will. Hensley up the floor. He scores! The Texan puts the group on his back, gallops up the floor, and absolutely blisters one. Bullseye, and they're back within one. Caleb Hensley's 4th goal of the year, and his first in the 3rd period this season. Are you not entertained? It's been a good one here today. As Yeaman. Hard battle on the face-off. He's been their specialist this year in the dot. Contact coming, embraced. Pass across, a break for the SWAT. They score! Mason Luoma. 3rd goal of the season. And just like that, we're back deadlocked again. Transition plays, not turning the ball over. This any fun or what? What a game today. There's Carter Cook. This guy can change a game in a heartbeat as well. Starts it off, McCarthy. Volans in front, Cook, crease dive, stepped in the crease. Gives the ball to the SWAT, who I don't believe we've seen 25 Stowe Francis since he hopped off the floor favoring his left foot. Goodwin will favor giving the ball to somebody, and that's not going to be a clean exchange. Morin got to get past the hockey blue line, and they finally do with 10 left in the shot clock. Steen, Luoma, St. Louis the save, loose ball Calgary. Good protection by Richards. How good has he been today? Richards, saved by Ferguson. Out of bounds, so the Mounties will keep the ball. Dexter Hannigan across Volans. In front, Volans. Oh boy, that's a hard bump he got. Paid the price. Hannigan, saved by Ferguson. Big loose ball. Nope, knocked out, and another one for the Mounties. Fresh 30. This is the difference of the game right now. It will be, I believe, before the end. All the loose balls, and Volans another. Certainly is the difference. Calgary Mounties, a considerable edge on the loose ball category. And it's given them more offensive opportunities. 54 shots unofficially to 29. Face-off win again by Yeaman. As Hayden Wasson and Linkletter team up for the loose ball. Linkletter sandwiched by 3 white jerseys. How tough is that kid? To Yeaman. Yeaman! Save by Ferguson. Stopped on another loose ball by McCarthy. Cook, quick stick in front. And Colton Tagg having a hard time getting up. Another goal! They score! Josh Weston was down and out. So Linkletter who got the one, I believe. 4, Lance? I was looking at the guy down on the floor. McCarthy with another one. 2 for McCarthy today. A pair for Liam Volans, a pair for Mason Rockley. 2-goal lead restored. We saw that evaporate in less than a minute early on this period. If Saskatchewan wants to recreate that again, they need to win the loose ball battle, which they're not. Murphy picks up a loose ball. On the back half of period 3, Hannigan, Volans. Volans looking for 3. Clock expires. And we're going to have the media timeout, I believe. We'll stay with you. I want to finish my story with Cody Hawkins, Lance, so we can get over to the Calgary bench, if you don't mind, please. So I asked Cody before the game about trying to formulate the identity of this team. And he said, playing the games against the SWAT, who are still looking for their identity. Then we have one against the Miners we tied, then a couple against the Raiders that really, for all intents and purposes, take a period away, and that's a better game. He said, if you look at the success of the Raiders, yes, it's something that to be in awe of and to commend them for. He said their 06 group is incredible. They all play together in the Elevate program, but he said, we have a part in that, guys. He shared the message to his team. He said, when you play against good competition, you become a better team. So he said, take pride in the fact that, yes, maybe those wins aren't coming, but as the Raiders get better, we're elevating their success, which in turn elevates us, which the SWAT are elevating their game today, and they'd love to get elevated closer to that tie again. Quick stick. Luoma can't believe it. Instead of looking at the sky, I'm sure his coach would prefer he fights for the ball. Isaacs over. We need something about a line change potentially. Or we needed a wipe up. Okay, they want to get the fresh 30. That's what they were signaling. So they got it. McCarthy. Cross Volans, waits, fires, and Ferguson's got to sit on it. Oh boy. Loose ball. Weens almost knocked it into his own net. Great delay from the fleet-footed Weens. Up to Michaluk. They're working around Scott now. Some pace to this Saskatchewan offense as they know the importance of at least one more goal in a game where goals are at a premium. Michaluk to Luoma. He's got one today. Michaluk fires, doink, off the post again. Great effort trying to keep it in at the line, but he just couldn't corral, was LePage. Yeaman will stop and set things up. Hannigan, quick stick, fires, misses in front. Ferguson trying to locate. Back in call against the SWAT, so Calgary gets it. Trying to put it on the goal. Ends up in the corner. Cook dives for it. Great back check to knock it free. In tight, Rockley misses. You never give up. If Carter Cook is breathing on the floor, that's when you got to know he's going to be in your hip pocket. Anywhere Carter Cook is dangerous. Even if he's 75 feet from you, he'll close that gap so quickly and cause you fits. And he did that on the backside. Goodwin for Saskatchewan. Has it. Ryder Goodwin, the Edmonton, Maine native. Graduate of Brewer High School. Works it around for Hawkenstein. Luoma. Luoma trying to bring it out in front. Not a clean exchange. Luoma trying to shovel it out. Needs a little bit of help there. He's got Paul Piche with him. And they're going to give Saskatchewan a new 30. Luoma. Morin, lots of room to work with. Morin just misses. He had about 25 feet to walk in, straight down QE2, and almost parked one in Airdrie. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. In my brain, it made sense. McCarthy looks to attack. 7 left in period 3. Firing Lee. Misses. Volans fights for one off the boards. And the SWAT will carry and turn on the Jets. Weston looks for some help. Will dish it off for LePage. Goodwin doesn't see anybody coming off the bench. Tries to do it on his own. Works it around LePage. Tries to cut. Goodwin, not a great shooting angle. Steen, 5 left to work with. You got to shoot it. Michalak killed his Willett at the net, and nope, too late. Shot clock expiry. Calgary takes over. A little more calmness out of the Saskatchewan game here, where on the late stages of period 2, the loose ball battle heavily tilted by Calgary. Trying to dump it at the net was Cook. 15 on the clock. Rockley, Cook, nice save. Ferguson. Shot 58 on number 35 in white. Hard screen set by Hannigan. And that'll be a power play for Saskatchewan. As Dexter Hannigan. No, it's going to be McCarthy, the penalized one. We'll head off to the box. Saskatchewan 2 for 3 today on the power play. That's positive if you're a SWAT fan to look at. Lost by 2 goals on Friday night to the Miners in a 12-10 contest. Morin trying to find a lane. Luoma, Scott, Morin, hand-eye not there. Steen picks it up, 10 on the clock. Linkletter's licking his lips. That's Carter Linkletter territory. Force you away from the goal. Shot off target. That'll be the end of the shot clock. And the Calgary Mounties will take over shorthanded. Trying to hit Hannigan, streaking through. Loose ball picked up by Volans. Volans across Hannigan. 5:20 left. Hannigan in tight to Wasson. A bouncer didn't reach the net. Hannigan sidesteps. Hannigan puts one on. And Ferguson a save. Hannigan getting into it after the play. Behind the play with McGuire Smith. As Goodwin sets it up on the power play. Christian Morin, 15 goals, 28 points in U17 this year for the Saskatoon SWAT. As Luoma, 5 left. He's got to get it at the net. It's picked off instead. And Linkletter keeps it, fires. Nice save. Ferguson, 25 remaining. Hannigan happily will just possess the ball to eliminate the rest of the Saskatchewan power play. No, they'll attack. Volans gets the shot, saved by Ferguson. Up to Hensley, he's got one today. Surveys the situation. And that's it for the power play, back to 5-on-5. Hockenstein quickly across, Scott, crease dive, and a nice save. And good stick by Goodwin, almost created a turnover. Now Pinkson. As out come the Mounties. Fredrickson not in the lineup today. Zarski, Captain Reese Bauer not in the lineup as well. Contreras and Auger, the omissions for the Mounties. Also Wong, Kelly, and Moon. Cook at the net, shot on. Can hear Chand yelling, let's go, let's go, let's go. 3:30 remaining in this one. Saskatchewan looking for their first victory since May 29th, 2022. Piche looking for the ball. At the line, Goodwin. Left side for LePage. Not clean, and the Mounties will carry it over. Up to Volins, and he gets a hard bump. The Saskatchewan will take. Hensley. Shoulders back, head up, the whole way. Confident, great player in transition and defense. Scott. Not a Goodwin. Goodwin loads, fires! And Pinkson might have got a piece of that one. He's feeling it on the way off the floor. Some frustration on the Saskatchewan side as Cody Hawkins' group will look to take over. Watson. Lee moves it along with the fake. McCarthy. Rockley. Is it in? No. Official right there. Up the floor. In transition. SWAT have some time. Just missed. Did Carter Linkletter block that one? He may have. That's incredible stuff. Shouldn't be amazed, but I'm still amazed every time Carter Linkletter does things like that. Scott, he scores! Dylan Scott has his second. Don't go away. The SWAT are back within one. Got ourselves a game. No give up in this group. Asked Cody Hawkins before the game that question about what's the identity that a group embodies. Who is Cody Hawkins? And he said, fight. No matter what. You get punched, you punch back. It's fight that I want this group to believe and constantly get up when you're knocked down. That's been this game today. An incredible contest that is far from over. Back over against Calgary. 98 seconds remaining in this contest. And the SWAT will keep their eyes on Colton Ferguson when he will be leaving the net. The Sylvan Lake native, part of the 2023 Northern Indigenous Games in Halifax, was Ferguson. You can see why. He is an excellent athlete. Luoma in front, can't hit Piche. And Piquel up the floor with Isaacs. That name used to rip pills into the back of the net for years in this facility and will continue to. McCarthy. Across Volins. Key block there from Saskatchewan. As they head up with urgency, Colby Jones. Oh, that's close to a back over, and it was. A mental mistake that'll eat 30 seconds off the clock for the SWAT. And the Mounties will happily take that. Carter Cook, the veteran. Nope, not interested in attacking. We're going to kill all the clock we can. He scores! Colton Tagg big. And that might be just enough for the Mounties. A key error on a transition play involving Colby Jones and Goodwin that gave the Mounties back the ball with a fresh 30, and now they look to be in the driver's seat as the Saskatchewan SWAT, oh so close. Yeaman, he's the guy you want with the ball. Shifty in front. And another loose ball picked up by Cook. As Carter Cook will eat it the rest of the way. What did I tell you? Loose balls would be the story. And a loose ball there by Cook combined with a mental mistake by the SWAT. And the Calgary Mounties come back. It wasn't easy, but they pick up a hard-fought 10-8 victory over the Saskatchewan SWAT for their 4th victory of the year and their 4th win over the SWAT this season. McCarthy had 2. Mullins with 2, Rockley with 2.